The Book of Jasher, Yashar, Chapter 5. And it was in the 84th year of the life of Noah that Enosh the son of Sheph died. He was 905 years old at his death. And in the 179th year of the life of Noah, Canaan the son of Enosh died. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And in the 234th year of the life of Noah, Mahalalel the son of Canaan died. And the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yared the son of Mahalalel died in those days, in the 336th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Yared were 962 years, and he died. And all who followed Yahuwah died in those days before they saw the evil which Elohim declared to do upon earth. And after the lapse of many years, in the 480th year of the life of Noah, when all those men who followed Yahuwah had died away from amongst the sons of men, and only Methuselah was then left, Elohim said unto Noah and Methuselah, saying, Speak ye and proclaim to the sons of men, saying, Thus says Yahuwah, Return from your evil ways and forsake your works, and Yahuwah will repent of the evil that he declared to do to you, so that it shall not come to pass. For thus says Yahuwah, Behold, I give you a period of 120 years. If you will turn to me and forsake your evil ways, then will I also turn away from the evil which I told you, and it shall not exist, says Yahuwah. And Noah and Methuselah spoke all the words of Yahuwah to the sons of men, day after day, constantly speaking to them. But the sons of men would not hearken to them, nor incline their ears to their words, and they were stiff-necked. And Yahuwah granted them a period of 120 years, saying, If they will return, then will Yahuwah repent of the evil, so as not to destroy the earth. Noah, the son of Lamech, refrained from taking a woman in those days to beget children, for he said, Surely now Yahuwah Elohim will destroy the earth. Wherefore then shall I beget children? And Noah was a just man. He was perfect in his generation, and Yahuwah chose him to raise up seed from his seed upon the face of the earth. And Yahuwah said unto Noah, Take unto you a wife, and beget children, for I have seen you righteous before me in this generation. And you shall raise up seed, and your children with you, in the midst of the earth. And Noah went and took a wife, and he chose Naamah, the daughter of Enoch, and she was 580 years old. And Noah was 498 years old when he took Naamah for a wife. And Naamah conceived and bore a son, and Noah called his name Shem, saying, Yahuwah Elohim has made me a remnant, to raise up seed in the midst of the earth. And she conceived again, and bore a son, and he called his name Japheth, saying, Yahuwah Elohim has enlarged me in the earth. And Noah was 502 years old when Naamah bore Ham. And the boys grew up and went in the ways of Yahuwah, and all that Methuselah and Noah their father taught them. And Lamech, the father of Noah, died in those days. Yet truly he did not go with all his heart in the ways of his father. And he died in the 195th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And all the sons of men who knew Yahuwah died in that year before Yahuwah brought evil upon them. For Yahuwah Elohim willed them to die, so as not to behold the evil that Yahuwah Elohim would bring upon their brothers and relatives, as he had so declared to do. In that time Yahuwah said to Noah and Methuselah, Stand forth and proclaim to the sons of men all the words that I speak to you in those days. Perchance they may turn from their evil ways, and I will then repent of the evil and will not bring it. And Noah and Methuselah stood forth and said in the ears of the sons of men all that Yahuwah Elohim had spoken concerning them. But the sons of men would not hearken, neither would they incline their ears to all their declarations. And it was after this that Yahuwah said to Noah, "The end of all flesh is come before me, on account of their evil deeds, and behold, I will destroy the earth. And do you take unto you gopher wood, and go to a certain place, and make a large ark, and place it in that spot. And thus you shall make it 300 cubits its length, 50 cubits broad, and 30 cubits high. And you shall make unto you a door, open at its side, and to a cubit you shall finish above, and cover it within and without with pitch. And behold, I will bring the flood of waters upon the earth, and all flesh be destroyed. From under the heavens all that is upon earth shall perish. And you and your household shall go and gather 2 couples of all living things, male and female, and shall bring them to the ark, to raise up seed from them upon earth. And gather unto you all food that is eaten by all the animals, that there may be food for you and for them. And you shall choose for yourself or for your sons 3 maidens from the daughters of men, and they shall be wives to your sons. And Noah rose up, and he made the ark in the place where Yahuwah Elohim had commanded him. And Noah did as Yahuwah had ordered him. In his 595th year, Noah commenced to make the ark, and he made the ark in 5 years, as Yahuwah had commanded. Then Noah took the 3 daughters of Elikim, son of Methuselah, for wives for his sons, as Yahuwah had commanded Noah. And it was at that time Methuselah, the son of Enoch, died. 960 years old was he at his death. Jasher chapter 6. At that time, after the death of Methuselah, Yahuwah said to Noah, "Go, you with your household, into the ark. Behold, I will gather to you all the animals of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and they shall all come and surround the ark. And you shall go and seat yourself by the doors of the ark, and all the beasts, the animals, and the fowls shall assemble and place themselves before you. And such of them as shall come and crouch before you shall you take and deliver into the hands of your sons, who shall bring them to the ark, and all that will stand before you you shall leave." And Yahuwah brought this about on the next day, and animals, beasts, and fowls came in great multitudes and surrounded the ark. And Noah went and seated himself by the door of the ark, and of all flesh that crouched before him he brought into the ark, and all that stood before him he left upon earth. And a lioness came with her 2 whelps, male and female, and the 3 crouched before Noah. And the 2 whelps rose up against the lioness and smote her, and made her flee from her place. And she went away, and they returned to their places, and crouched upon the earth before Noah. And the lioness ran away and stood in the place of the lions. And Noah saw this, and wondered greatly. And he rose and took the 2 whelps, and brought them into the ark. And Noah brought into the ark from all living creatures that were upon earth, so that there was none left but which Noah brought into the ark. 2 and 2 came to Noah into the ark, but from the clean animals and clean fowls he brought 7 couples, as Yahuwah had commanded him. And all the animals and beasts and fowls were still there, and they surrounded the ark at every place, and the rain had not descended till 7 days after. And on that day Yahuwah caused the whole earth to shake, and the sun darkened, and the foundations of the world raged. And the whole earth was moved violently, and the lightning flashed, and the thunder roared. And all the fountains in the earth were broken up, such as was not known to the inhabitants before. And Yahuwah did this mighty act, in order to terrify the sons of men, that there might be no more evil upon earth. And still the sons of men would not return from their evil ways, and they increased the anger of Yahuwah at that time, and did not even direct their hearts to all this. And at the end of 7 days, in the 600th year of the life of Noah, the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of the Shemaim were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah and his household and all the living creatures that were with him came into the ark on account of the waters of the flood, and Yahuwah shut him in. And all the sons of men that were left upon the earth became exhausted through evil on account of the rain. For the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and beasts were still surrounding the ark. And the sons of men assembled together, about 700,000 men and women, and they came unto Noah to the ark. And they called out to Noah, saying, Open for us, that we may come to you in the ark. And wherefore shall we die? And Noah with a loud voice answered them from the ark, saying, Have you not all rebelled against Yahuwah Elohim, and said that he does not exist? And therefore Yahuwah Elohim brought upon you this evil, to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth. Is this not the thing that I spoke to you of 120 years back, and you would not hearken to the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim? And now do you desire to live upon earth? And they said to Noah, We are ready to return to Yahuwah, only open for us that we may live and not die. And Noah answered them, saying, Behold, now that you see the trouble of your souls, you wish to return to Yahuwah. Why did you not return during these 120 years, which Yahuwah granted you as the determined period? But now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your souls. Now also Yahuwah will not listen to you, neither will he give ear to you on this day, so that you will not now succeed in your wishes. And the sons of men approached in order to break into the ark, to come in on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them. And Yahuwah sent all the beasts and animals that stood round the ark, and the beasts overpowered them and drove them from that place. And every man went his way, and they again scattered themselves upon the face of the earth. And the rain was still descending upon the earth, and it descended 40 days and 40 nights. And the waters prevailed greatly upon the earth, and all flesh that was upon the earth or in the waters died, whether men, animals, beasts, creeping things, or birds of the air. And there only remained Noah and those that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed, and they greatly increased upon the earth. And they lifted up the ark, and it was raised from the earth. And the ark floated upon the face of the waters, and it was tossed upon the waters, so that all the living creatures within were turned about like pottage in a cauldron. And great anxiety seized all the living creatures that were in the ark, and the ark was like to be broken. And all the living creatures that were in the ark were terrified, and the lions roared, and the oxen loud, and the wolves howled, and every living creature in the ark spoke and lamented in its own language, so that their voices reached to a great distance. And Noah and his sons cried and wept in their troubles. They were greatly afraid that they had reached the gates of death. And Noah prayed unto Yahuwah, and cried unto him on account of this. And he said, O Yahuwah, help us, for we have no strength to bear this evil that has encompassed us. For the waves of the waters have surrounded us, mischievous torrents have terrified us, the snares of death have come before us. Answer us, O Yahuwah, answer us, light up your countenance toward us, and be gracious unto us, redeem us, and deliver us. And Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of Noah, and Yahuwah remembered him. And a wind passed over the earth, and the waters were still, and the ark rested. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of the Shemaim were stopped, and the rain from Shemaim was restrained. And the waters decreased in those days, and the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat. And Noah then opened the windows of the ark, and Noah still called out to Yahuwah at that time. And he said, O Yahuwah, who did form the earth and the Shemaim, and all that are therein, bring forth our souls from this confinement, and from the prison wherein you have placed us, for I am much wearied with sighing. And Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of Noah, and said to him, When you shall have completed a full year, you shall then go forth. And at the revolution of the year, when a full year was completed to Noah, dwelling in the ark, the waters were dried from off the earth, and Noah put off the covering of the ark. At that time, on the 27th day of the second month, the earth was dry, but Noah and his sons, and those that were with him, did not go out from the ark until Yahuwah had told them. And the day came that Yahuwah told them to go out, and they all went out from the ark. And they went and returned everyone to his way and to his place. And Noah and his sons dwelt in the land that Yahuwah had told them, and they served Yahuwah all their days. And Yahuwah blessed Noah, he baruched them, and his sons on their going out from the ark. And he said to them, Be fruitful and fill all the earth, become strong and increase abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. Jasher chapter 7. And these are the names of the sons of Noah, Japheth, Ham, and Shem. And children were born to them after the flood, for they had taken wives before the flood. These are the sons of Japheth: Gimer, Magog, Madai, Yavan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tirach, 7 sons. And the sons of Gimer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Magog were Elichapnaph and Lubal. And the children of Madai were Akon, Ze'iel, Chazonai, and Lot. And the sons of Yavan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. And the sons of Tubal were Arphai, Kesed, and Ta'ari. And the sons of Meshach were Dadan, Zaran, and Shivnashai. And the sons of Tirach were Benai, Gera, Luphiron, and Gilak. These are the sons of Japheth according to their families, and their numbers in those days were about 460 men. And these are the sons of Ham: Cush, Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan, 4 sons. And the sons of Cush were Seva, Shavala, Kafta, Ra'ama, and Kaftaka. And the sons of Ra'ama were Sheva and Dedan. And the sons of Mitzrayim were Ludim, Anaim, and Pathrusim, Kaklushim, and Kaftorim. And the sons of Put were Givol, Hadan, Benah, and Adan. And the sons of Canaan were Sidon, Sheth, Amri, Girgashai, Shivai, Archai, Sinai, Arvadai, Samarai, and Chemathai. These are the sons of Ham according to their families, and their numbers in those days were about 730 men. And these are the sons of Shem: Elam, Ashar, Arpachshad, Ludai, and Aram, 5 sons. And the sons of Elam were Shushan, Machol, and Harmon. And the sons of Asher were Miras and Mokil. And the sons of Arpachshad were Shelach, Anar, and Ashkol. And the sons of Ludai were Pethor and Bizion. And the sons of Aram were Utz, Chil, Gathar, and Mash. These are the sons of Shem according to their families, and their numbers in those days were about 300 men. These are the generations of Shem. Shem begat Arpachshad, and Arpachshad begat Shelah, and Shelah begat Eber, and to Eber were born 2 children. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the sons of men were divided, and in the latter days the earth was divided. And the name of the second was Yoktan, meaning that in his day the lives of the sons of men were diminished and lessened. These are the sons of Yoktan: Amaldad, Shilav, Chazamovath, Yirak, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Oval, Avimael, Shiva, Ophar, Shivala, and Yovav. All these are the sons of Yoktan. And Peleg, his brother, begat Reu, and Reu begat Serug, and Serug begat Nahor, and Nahor begat Terah, and Terah was 38 years old, and he begat Haran and Nahor. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days in his old age. And she bore a son, and they called his name Nimrod, saying, At that time the sons of men again began to rebel and transgress against Yahuwah. And the child grew up, and his father loved him exceedingly, for he was the son of his old age. And the garments of skin which Yahuwah made for Adam and his wife, when they went out of the garden, were given to Cush. For after the death of Adam and his wife, the garments were given to Enoch, the son of Jared. And when Enoch was taken up to Yahuwah, he gave them to Methuselah his son. And at the death of Methuselah, Noah took them and brought them to the ark, and they were with him until he went out of the ark. And in their going out, Ham stole those garments from Noah, his father, and he took them and hid them from his brothers. And when Ham begat his firstborn Cush, he gave him the garments in secret, and they were with Cush many days. And Cush also concealed them from his sons and brothers. And when Cush had begotten Nimrod, he gave him those garments through his love for him. And Nimrod grew up, and when he was 20 years old, he put on those garments. And Nimrod became strong when he put on the garments, and Yahuwah gave him might and strength. And he was a mighty hunter in the earth. He was a mighty hunter in the field, and he hunted the animals, and he built altars, and he offered upon them the animals before Yahuwah. And Nimrod strengthened himself, and he rose up from amongst his brethren, and he fought the battles of his brethren against all their enemies round about. And Yahuwah delivered all the enemies of his brethren in his hands, and Yahuwah prospered him from time to time in his battles, and he reigned upon earth. Therefore it became current in those days, when a man ushered forth those that he had trained up for battle. He would say to them, like Yahuwah did to Nimrod, who was a mighty hunter in the earth, and who succeeded in the battles that prevailed against his brethren, that he delivered them from the hands of their enemies. So may Yahuwah strengthen us and deliver us this day. And when Nimrod was 40 years old, at that time there was a war between his brethren and the children of Japheth, so that they were in the power of their enemies. And Nimrod went forth at that time, and he assembled all the sons of Cush and their families, about 460 men. And he hired also from some of his friends and acquaintances about 80 men. And he gave them their hire, and he went with them to battle. And when he was on the road, Nimrod strengthened the hearts of the people that went with him. And he said to them, Do not fear, neither be alarmed, for all our enemies will be delivered into our hands, and you may do with them as you please. And all the men that went were about 500, and they fought against their enemies, and they destroyed them and subdued them. And Nimrod placed standing officers over them in their respective places. And he took some of their children as security, and they were all servants to Nimrod and to his brethren. And Nimrod and all the people that were with him turned homeward. And when Nimrod had joyfully returned from battle, after having conquered his enemies, all his brethren, together with those who knew him before, assembled to make him king over them, and they placed the regal crown upon his head. And he set over his subjects and people princes, judges, and rulers, as is the custom amongst kings. And he placed Terah, the son of Nahor, the prince of his host, and he dignified him and elevated him above all his princes. And while he was reigning according to his heart's desire, after having conquered all his enemies around, he advised with his counselors to build a city for his palace, and they did so. And they found a large valley opposite to the east, and they built him a large and extensive city. And Nimrod called the name of the city that he built Shinar, for Yahuwah had vehemently shaken his enemies and destroyed them. And Nimrod dwelt in Shinar, and he reigned securely, and he fought with his enemies, and he subdued them, and he prospered in all his battles, and his kingdom became very great. And all nations and tongues heard of his fame, and they gathered themselves to him, and they bowed down to the earth, and they brought him offerings. And he became their master and king, and they all dwelt with him in the city at Shinar. And Nimrod reigned in the earth over all the sons of Noah, and they were all under his power and counsel. And all the earth was of one tongue and words of union. But Nimrod did not go in the ways of Yahuwah, and he was more wicked than all the men that were before him, from the days of the flood until those days. And he made Elohim of wood and stone, and he bowed down to them, and he rebelled against Yahuwah, and taught all his subjects and the people of the earth his wicked ways. And Mardon, his son, was more wicked than his father. And everyone that heard of the acts of Mardon, the son of Nimrod, would say concerning him, From the wicked goes forth wickedness. Therefore it became a proverb in the whole earth, saying, From the wicked goes forth wickedness. And it was current in the words of men from that time to this. And Terah, the son of Nahor, prince of Nimrod's host, was in those days very great in the sight of the king and his subjects. And the king and princes loved him, and they elevated him very high. And Terah took a woman, and her name was Abdalo, the daughter of Cornabo. And the wife of Terah conceived, and bore him a son in those days. Terah was 70 years old when he begat him, and Terah called the name of his son that was born to him Avram, because the king had raised him in those days, and dignified him above all his princes that were with him.